Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to our 100 subscribers celebration Q&A. Woohoo! Thank you all so much for subscribing. As of this recording, we're on 127, and I just want to give a big thank you to all of you who have subscribed over the past month or so. It's been lovely to see the channel sort of steadily grow, sort of get to know some of you guys who have been commentating. It's been lovely, and I really like the little sort of community that's being built here. I get a lot from doing this stuff, like a lot of personal enjoyment from it, and sort of a deeper stuff. I don't know, it just helps me a lot. It helps me decompress, and I'm glad to see a lot of comments of people who sort of have the same approach to games and content, and that they like that it's nice and chill, and yeah, it's really lovely. And I really appreciate it. So we've done a little community Q&A. We've got a couple of questions to answer. And I just thought this would be a good way for us to get to know each other a bit more. And yeah, we'll probably do more of these in the future. But for now, let us start with the Q&A. This is MIDI, by the way. This is my priest that I leveled with my wife over the past year or so in WoW Classic era. She got some decent gear, not amazing, but you know, we've done like Molten Core and stuff, and yeah, she's awesome. So let me get the questions up here. I'm going to go in order of like from first to last. The first one is from Valnetcho, who I think prefers to go by Omega. My friend, you comment on every single video, and you're always so positive and lovely. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. I hope you know that. It always makes me smile to see, you know, what you're doing with your day and how it's helping, or you know, how much you enjoy it. So yeah, thank you. And your question is, do you play the current expansion War Within, or is it just like classic or hardcore along with your Elder Scrolls series? I played the War Within when it came out, and I played it for about 2 weeks, and then I stopped playing. And that is because I chose to engage in retail with specifically with the stuff that I enjoy, which is the leveling content and the story. I'm not an endgame raider. I don't want to do crazy endgame dungeons, heroics, mythics. It's not my thing. I don't like the mythic culture. I don't like how it's all go and speed runs and stuff like that. I don't think that fosters a good community. But I really enjoyed the War Within. I really did. I loved the story. I loved the leveling content. It was really interesting and like fun. And I would, you know, I'm looking forward to the rest of the world, Soul Saga. But I'll just be engaging mostly in the story stuff and the leveling. Retail isn't probably the best place it could be for a long time. The past few expansions, not amazing. But if this feels good, this feels grounded, and yeah, I really enjoy it. But I uninstalled it because I'm not going to be playing it, and it's obviously quite a big game in terms of the old gigabytes. So when the next expansion or the next big story pack drops, then I will probably have a go. But until then, yeah, I'm back on classic and hardcore. You also said, do I play anything else other than like the Elder Scrolls playthrough? I'll take that as a wide question of like, what else do I play? And I play lots of different games, really. My gaming tastes have changed over the years, but the core of it is I like RPGs, and I like strategy games, and like adventure, I suppose. But my tastes have changed. I used to be like a real story-heavy kind of person. Stories is still good, but these huge 100+ hour games nowadays, I really struggle to finish them. I struggle to start them, to be fair. The last big game I finished was Red Dead Redemption 2. And, you know, I've got so many games that I want to finish or want to start that I just never have. I've tried to complete The Witcher 3 so many times. I don't know what it is. I can't grasp it. I don't get it. And I know it's a good game because millions of players love it. I've got Ghosts of Tsushima that I want to play. I just struggle to get into. I don't know what it is. I like games that I can drop in, play a bit, engage in with some fun mechanics, build my own stories in it, and then sort of, leave and then not feel like I'm missing out. And that's what I think the issue that I have with story games is. If I start them and then stop, I feel really bad. Like I feel like, and then when you go back to it, you can't remember everything. And yeah, so I like games, obviously, with WoW, with at least with Classic. You can come in, you can do a succinct few quests, do what you need to do, log out. You've had a bit of fun, you've maybe gained a level, got some new spells, stuff like that. Strategy games, you can do a few battles, a few scenarios, whatever. Stuff like that. Even like smaller RPGs and indie games. I really like builders at the moment. Like I'm really into like Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo because you're being creative and expressing yourselves, and it's kind of like there's no like you have to complete this. It's kind of in your court. That's the sort of games that I enjoy playing, but I've played all sorts over the years. My favorite games are. Well, my favorite game is probably Mass Effect 2. And I played that at a time when I had a lot of time on my hands. It was during university. So when I wasn't studying, which wasn't a lot, but when I did, when I didn't, I could just play games as much as I loads. And my lifestyle's changed since then, so gaming is something that I want to feel rewarded from playing, and I get that from engaging in something that's mechanically, like, strong, I suppose. But yeah, as I said, one of the main reasons for this channel is to help me complete games. We're playing Morrowind at the moment, as you know. I'm actually going to start walking. Why not? So one of the main reasons of the channel is so that I can complete games. That gives me a bit more impetus to do it. So Morrowind is a game I've played a lot of since the day it came out, all those years ago, but I've never completed it. So I'm hoping that the series will help me do that. So yeah, but in my spare time, I play. So I'm playing 2 Point Hospital and 2 Point Campus at the moment. Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, XCOM, both the original XCOM, like the one from the 90s, and XCOM the remake. I like those games because you can jump in, you customize your own sort of squad, and then you can play for a bit and then leave. And I don't know, I like those kind of games that are mechanically sort of sound and you can put a bit of yourself into. I know I said Mass Effect 2 is my favorite game, and that is because of the characters and the story. I obviously like the mechanics of the game too, but I don't really play games like that anymore. And sometimes I feel bad for that, but maybe this channel will help me complete some of those bigger games. We'll see. Probably like, what else? Skyrim, absolutely one of my favorite games of all time. The original Pokemon games are very, very important to me. Curse of Monkey Island, Jedi Knight 2, Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, Dark Forces 2, Abe's Odyssey. These are all like some of my favorite games of all time. I know that wasn't exactly your question, but I just wanted to give a sort of example of the kind of games that I play. Used to be a big Call of Duty guy back in my teenage and early 20s. Popped off in Black Ops and then could never recapture how good I was in following games, so stopped doing that. Played loads of Overwatch back in the day, loved doing that. But yeah, nowadays I've settled into sort of games that I can feel relaxed and cozy in, and a lot of it comes from the channel as well. The way that I am in videos is kind of how I like to play games when I'm even not on camera. I like it to be relaxed and I can sort of explore things at my own pace and stuff like that. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe I need that approach to bigger bigger world games, because sometimes I feel a bit overwhelmed by the amount of stuff in it. I wanted to love Starfield, couldn't get into that, but, you know, maybe if I do the approach of, like, the way I approach the hardcore series on The Professor is, okay, today I'm going to achieve these 3 goals, and then if that episode is 25 minutes long or 55 minutes long, once I've done that, I know, okay, that's what I've achieved. Maybe I need to do that with my approach to games, for bigger games. Like, I'm going to complete these few quests, and then eventually you'll complete it. But instead, I think, like, oh god, I've got to complete it, the big story. I want to move on to my next game. You know, it's something to do with my silly brain at the end of the day. But yeah, thank you for your question, Valnencho / Omega. I think you said you prefer Omega, so I will call you Omega. As you know, you're always commentating, and I really appreciate it very, very much. Thank you. Next question is from... Hold on. Whoa. Where are we? Jemmy Wow. Jemmy Wow is a fellow WoW Classic creator that is doing hardcore and the Iron Man challenge. I would recommend, if you're watching this and you like my kind of content, go and give him a sub as well. He is, he's just a fellow good chill commentator, obviously doing the same kind of content. It's really good. Go for it. Go and check him out. Sort of similar question. What are your thoughts on retail? Well, I personally do not like it that much, and it has become too handheldy and less rewarding. Yeah, it's the same. I just engage in the stuff that I enjoy nowadays. Like I said in the last question, it's about finding what you enjoy in games. I like leveling, and I like the story that they're building, so I engaged in that, and I pulled away from all the other stuff because I don't find it rewarding. It is a bit handheldy, and especially a few expansions back, it used to be you'd log in and you just wouldn't know what to do. It'd be like, you need to get your soul ash to transfer it into something mana, to transfer it to this, so you can buy this upgrade and blah. And I just remember looking at it, just thinking, what has this game become? WoW is at its best when you're questing, I think, and engaging in the world. So overall, at the moment, I've got quite a positive take on WoW, to be fair, or retail, but only in terms of its story and its leveling content. The rest of it, I don't really care for, to be honest. But thanks, Jemmy. Thanks for the question. I continue to watch your stuff, and I really appreciate all your comments. Next question, David Nelson. You are another consistent commenter. I know you came over from Misty Mountain Gaming after the recommendation, and I'm so glad that you've stuck around. I really like reading all your comments and chatting with you. Your question is, you have mentioned your honeymoon in a few times. Where you're going? General area, no specific needed. Is this a place that you and your wife have gone before? If it's too personal, feel free to ignore. I did actually message you by text and just said, don't worry about it, it's not too personal. Yeah, not a problem. We are going to the Greek island of Rhodes. We have been there before. We went there for a wedding about 4 years ago, and we sort of fell in love with it. And we're going to an all-inclusive adult-only resort because my wife is a teacher and she doesn't. She's had enough. She wants a break from her kids for a week, and we're not extravagant people at all, but we pushed the boat out a little bit. It's a once in a lifetime kind of thing that we're doing. So it's going to be a lot of lazy chilling and reading, catching up on books that we've not been able to read, and enjoying each other's company and trying good food. And yeah, we're going to do a few little trips out. We're going to hopefully go to Rhodes Old Town. We've been there before when we were last there. Rhodes Old Town is, if you've heard of the Colossus of Rhodes, it's an ancient, it's not there anymore, but it was this ancient statue that stood across the harbour of Rhodes. You can go and see where that is, and the actual old town is really interesting because it's an island that's been occupied by different cultures over the years, so there's a real blend. There's British medieval kind of, you know, buildings. You can see some sort of like Arab influences as well. So looking forward to going there. Probably take like a boat trip out at some point. But yeah, mostly, I'll be honest, it's not going to be a cultural experience. It's going to be a relax, enjoy each other's company, catch up on books, things like that. Yeah, so looking forward to that. I'll speak to my wife. I might do like a little vlog one day. Obviously, what I want to do is spend time with her and enjoy myself. So, but maybe we could do a little vlog one day. Yeah, thanks again for the question. And yeah, not too personal at all. Really appreciate all your comments, mate. Thank you so much. Next question. One moment. Let me just zoom in. Is from Ian Kernahan. Have you ever tried other MMORPGs other than WoW? What were your thoughts? Not many. I've played Star Wars The Old Republic, which I enjoy a lot. Once again, mainly for the story. When I'm in a big Star Wars mood, I'll tend to download it and play it because it's just a lot of fun. I think I've got a Sith over there, an agent, and a bounty hunter. And I've enjoyed all of that very much, actually. But I'm not super... I'm not up to date with, like, what the game... where it is, you know, mechanically at the moment, or what, like, level it is. I wouldn't know. I just know that I enjoy the story when I play it. And I also played a bit of... what was it? Elder Scrolls Online. Once again, I've never sort of engaged in an MMO more than I have with WoW. So I've leveled up a few times, a few characters on that, not all the way. Once again, enjoyed the story. I used to play RuneScape back in the day, and I've played a little bit of that recently, actually, just in the background. Yeah, but no, I've never really got into another MMO the same way that I got into World of Warcraft. The next question, would you do more campaign lore videos? Yes, I will, and I've actually started recording one. I know I've dropped the ball with that. We've got 2 sessions that I need to catch up on. And I will start doing more. I might do like a specific video about the lore of the world that I've built. And that kind of goes to your other question, which is, what would your hopes for a dream campaign be? My dream campaign is kind of the one I've built, but the dream would be that the players fall in love with it completely and feel completely engaged in the world, and that they feel like they're being like they're like prime movers in it. Like, once they finish the Winterweald bit, the Winterweald Chronicles, and they go back to Otis and they see they're going to engage more with the politics of the land, and they'll probably see more of the sort of tensions that are in the world. They started at level 4, so they were already sort of somewhat known adventurers. I want them to feel like they've become like proper heroes, and I want them to really engage in the characters to the point where they feel like if something bad happens, that, you know, they lose something. You know, that's what my dream is, that it feels engaging. There is a big bad guy in the background. They don't fully know who that is yet, and I won't say who it is just in case they watch this video. But yeah, and obviously I want them to slay the big bad guy and feel like heroes. I will one day go through the sort of lore that I've built around it, and yeah, I've dropped the ball with putting those up. But I will eventually, I promise you. And the last question is, how do you balance gaming with your day-to-day life? It's a very good question. I have a set time when I tend to play games, like for myself. My wife is a teacher, and she wakes up very early in the morning to get to work. I wake up a bit later, about 2 hours later usually, because a lot of the time with my flexi working, I can work from home. So usually I'll wake up about 8:15 to start work at 9. Obviously, I don't have to commute, but that means that she needs to go to bed earlier. What I do is I go up to bed with her. We watch a bit of TV and just chat and whatever. And then once she's fallen asleep, I tend to come down and I'll have some time for myself, you know, play a few games, record some videos, 2 or 3 hours usually, and then I'll head up back to bed. And yeah, so that's what the way I balance it really is by being a bit more disciplined with my gaming time. Back in the day, when I was single, and when I had a less, not important, but less, maybe important, a job that I cared less about is probably the best way to put it. My life would revolve around going to work, getting through the work day, get home. I lived with my parents, play games until I collapsed from tiredness, and sort of go on and on and on. Obviously, that's changed now. I've grown, and my lifestyle's changed, and my priorities have changed. And I think the younger me would have been like, I don't know, like upset. I would have been like, oh, I'm losing all my gaming time. But I don't see it as that. I see it as I've gained time to build a life. You know, I'm sure people do this, and there'll be couples that do this that are perfectly happy. So this is not me judging those kind of people. But for me, I couldn't like wait for my wife to get home. We make tea, as in dinner or whatever. And then I go like, okay, I'm off to the office to go. Oh, I'm off to my gaming den to go play games with the lads for 6 hours. I'll see you in bed. It works for people. I know it does. For me, it doesn't work. It doesn't go right with my brain. I'd be thinking like, my wife's downstairs, someone I love. You know, the reason I'm married is because I love her and I love spending time with her. We have our time away from each other, obviously. That's healthy. You know, you need to be able to enjoy your own space and your own time. But I don't prioritize video games over that. So when we're chilling together, I'm just like, yeah, this is brilliant. I'm with my wife, who I love. I've got my 2 dogs that we're playing with in the house that we own. And we have such a good laugh. Like, we always say to each other, like, you know, I don't think there's been a day where we haven't made each other laugh. We're just, I don't know, it's just lovely. So I balance it like that, basically, by just having a specific time where I know that's when I'm going to play my game. You know, that's when I'm going to game. That's sort of my time. That's my chill time. And she has that as well, you know, at the weekends as well. So sometimes she'll go out with friends for a drink, and sometimes I'll go, sometimes I won't, you know, just it depends. I think my relationship with games now is a lot healthier than it once was when I was a younger man. It was an escape, and it still is an escape, but it was how much of an escape, I suppose. Now it's a way to decompress after a day, and it's a positive thing, whereas back then I think it was, please let me get into some kind of world so I don't have to worry about all the, you know, rubbish, you know, that's going on in my personal life or my work life, which for a time was pretty rubbish. So I'll always appreciate games for giving me that comfort blanket, but I engage with it now in a much healthier way. God, we've walked quite far, haven't we? Well, yeah, that's how I do it. I just, I learned to prioritize things and have a specific time for when I play games, but also my wife likes to play games as well. So a lot of our time when we're chilling on our own is playing maybe a bit of WoW, a bit of Minecraft, you know, a game like that. We played Borderlands this year. So yeah, you know, we've got similar interests as well, so we get some gaming time together as well. And yeah, and then so at the weekends, sometimes she might want to watch a TV show. The way our house is set up, we've got one like big front room that's also, it's what you call a through lounge, what we call it here in the UK. So the front room blends into the dining room, which then goes in, and then the kitchen's like a step down. My desk and my computer is like a sort of like a barrier between the dining room and the sofa room, the TV room. So often, if she wants to watch something, and maybe it's not something I like, I can just come in. I'll say, no, that's fine. You watch what you want. I'll go sit at my desk. I can still see her. She's only like a couple of feet away on the couch. We can still chat. I'll play a game. You know, she's very supportive of the channel as well and what we're doing. So it's great. I think it's just finding that right balance and and understanding your priorities. Obviously, I've matured, and I know that there is other things that I have to do in life now. You know, I'm a homeowner, a husband, a, a dad of 2 dogs. You know, there are things that have to be done. You can't let those things slip. So yeah, that's my answer to that. So thank you for all the questions. I really appreciate it. We'll do more of these in the future. I would really enjoy that. Obviously, probably as we get more subscribers, we'll get more questions. But this was really nice to talk about. I thought, you know, just to end, what I would say, I'm just going to open up a little bit more about who I am, just so you know. Like, so yeah, most people call me Midi because of my handle online for a long time was Midian. So feel free to call me Midian or Midi or whatever. But also, if you want, my real name is John, Jon. If you want to call me that, that's fine. I'm from the UK. I'm 34. Like I said, homeowner and husband, and just, I don't know, a geek for a lot of things, you know, D&D, games, reading, stuff like that. You know, I love walking the dogs, and yeah, you know, a pretty normal guy, I like to think. But I've got a past that's, you know, I've seen a few things in my old work and stuff that has been, you know, the right word sadly is traumatic. And so I talk about things quite openly about mental health and stuff like that. And that is one of the main reasons as well I want to build a community here. So I want a community of people that can talk to each other about issues, and I kind of use games as that kind of platform. So please always feel free to make a comment, even if it's completely unrelated to the video. If you're having a bad day or whatever, give us a shout. I'm always happy to, like, you know, to talk things through. Yeah, that's what I want from the channel. I want us to build a nice little community of people who have sort of the same kind of approach to games and want to support each other. And yeah, I'll leave it there. So let's stop here, just outside this spooky graveyard. Thank you so much for all your questions and all the continued support, subscribers, comments. It's all lovely. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye for now.